What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Elden Ring walkthrough. Hope y'all are doing fantastic today. All right, we have arrived at the Lake of Rot. It seems intimidating. It is a bit annoying, but it's not as bad as you would think, especially if you kind of know where you're going and know what you're looking for, at least somewhat. For starters, we are going to become a mushroom boy. And what I mean by that is we are going to equip our mushroom armor. So if you look at our current stats, the immunity is what we are concerned with first and foremost. That is going to boost our resistance to the Scarlet Rot. So first of all, we're going to equip that ant shield we got in the last episode. So you see that takes us from 201 to 261 right there, just for having that shield equipped. From there, we are going to equip the mushroom armor set. So starting with the mushroom head, you see this takes us up to 305 just for having the headpiece equipped. Having the armor takes us to 407. Having the gloves takes us to 441. And finally, having the trousers takes us to 504. So that boosts our immunity significantly. Lastly, I'm going to take the claw talisman. Let's see. I'll take the claw talisman, and then we'll put on... We have the mottled necklace, which will take us up to 564. We also have the immunizing horn charm, which is going to take us up to 594. So we went from 200 to almost 600 just by changing our equipment. So I highly recommend you doing the same because the Scarlet Rot in this area is basically inevitable. So there's a few loops that we're going to do. First of all, you see that item that's like right kind of in front of us. We're going to make a loop kind of around this wall. And then when we get, in dire straits, we will warp back to our site of grace and kind of do another path. So, all right, pick up this and Aeonian butterflies. And you will get Scarlet Rot in this area. There are more butterflies over there. There are a ton of butterflies that kind of line this area, kind of the outer wall. I mean, I'm not super concerned with picking up the crafting materials, i.e. the butterflies. But if you want those, just know that there's a bunch of them just kind of lining this outer wall. You saw some back over there just a second ago. And you can use the Flame Cleanse Me to cure the rot. Alternatively, what you can also do is you can just use flasks to kind of heal. And then once you get on a solid platform, you can use your talisman to cure. There's going to be a few basilisks that pop up right here. So once I get on dry ground, I'm going to heal. And then it's going to be time. I'm going to put my beast torch on. Which you see, this one's kind of just chilling with the beast when I have the beast torch on. And these other ones are not attacking me anymore. So definitely recommend the beast torch down here, especially for these areas that do have basilisks. We got ourselves another smithing stone. Okay, so what we want to do next is there's going to be a guy kind of in the middle here, like an ancestral warrior dude. I'm just going to kind of let the Scarlet Rot sort of do its thing. That's fine. I'll heal up here for good measure. If you kill this thing, this is a guaranteed drop. You're going to get the immunizing horn charm +1, which will be helpful. Over here, you see there's an item here on these ruins. Surrounded by basilisks, but if you're quick, they're not going to be able to do much to you. All right, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to heal up my Scarlet Rot and top off health. Really, let's see. See that little obelisk right in front of me? I'm going to go ahead and mark it. It's probably right around here. We're going to go on and trigger that as well. And, I'm going to try to do the entire south loop while we're going here. See if I can pull it off. Because there is actually a site of grace on the south end of this swamp as well. If you get both of those, get both sites of grace unlocked, that's going to drastically enhance our ability to fast travel. And it'll, being able to warp freely will help us. All right, so where we're headed next is over there. You see that kind of structure in the middle of the lake. That is where we're headed next. Just kind of 12 o'clock. But you see there's a couple platforms on our way, so I'm going to try to manage the rot build up here. And if I have to use Flame Cleanse Me again, so be it. Yeah, I'm going to have to use it again because I botched that jump on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and use it just to take off the buildup. Then move on to this next one. And there are basilisks around here. You see there's an item kind of up on that pillar that we're going to get. And I'm going to have to use Flame Cleanse Me again, but that's fine. I'm going to have to use my blue flask as well. But yes, this ant shield does boost our immunity, so we want it out kind of while we're traveling through here. All right, so we managed to not get rotted on our way over here. Come on. This is a little bit tricky to get because you don't want to jump off the edge, but you have to be like up here to get the loot. So we got a somber 8. We're probably gonna get more rot. I'm gonna try to make it, but just do a running jump off here to clear as much distance as possible. But then you're stunned on when you land, and barely made it. Sweet. All right, so up here. Actually, what I need to do is, now that I'm in a safe spot, so we have the immunizing horn charm. When we killed the ancestral warrior kind of in this area, like right here, sort of in the middle, we killed it. And I said it's a guaranteed drop. We picked up the immunizing horn charm +1. So we might as well equip the +1 version, which will take our immunity from 594 to 644, just from equipping the +1. And then you see, I mentioned there are a bunch of butterflies. You can take them or leave them. I mean, it really depends if you're crafting items that require those butterflies. This is a good source for them. So a bunch of basilisks down there, but there's an item up here. Just kind of run off here. Don't sprint, just run. You should land on here. And this is the mushroom crown. So we have the mushroom head equipped. The mushroom crown gives us a slight bit of a boost of immunity. But the main thing is that it raises your attack power when something nearby you suffers from poison or rot, yourself included. So anytime something gets that rot in this area, you're going to get a slight boost to your attack power, which is nice. All right, so I'm just going to run. I'm going to heal up here. Oh, that's not what I want. And then I'm going to run for my life. So what I'm going to point out is there are a bunch of Aeonian butterflies around a bunch of basilisks right around here. And then there is a scarab with a somber stone right here. And then if we can make it to here, this is where our next site of grace is going to be. So that is our goal. So I'm going to drop down and just run away from these basilisks. And then head over this direction. You see there's a bunch of basilisks around here. But then also you see all of these Aeonian butterflies, which if I get these, I'll call it a day. Like, I don't need to get any of the other ones down here. You see there's a ton of them. And that's more than I need, really. All right, so we're going to get this scarab. Probably going to heal up right here. This is for a somber 6, I believe. Yep. You see there's another obelisk that's going to trigger another platform. Once I get on here, I'm going to use my Flame Cleanse Me. So this one we are on top of. Now, there are other ones we have to raise up before we can do what we need to do up here. So there's actually a ladder over here you can hop down. But we did make it to the other side, which is good. That was kind of the goal. All right. I'm going to pull the shield back out. Basilisk's down here to greet us, but we can circle here real quick. It's going to be close. I got this. I got the rot. Oh, well. We can carry it up. No problem. And so we'll be able to get the southern side of Grace, which is going to help us speed through this area a little bit quicker. since we have the ability to warp to the north end of the lake and now the south end of the lake as well. And I might as well rest up and get, you know, my flasks back and all that good stuff too. Because we didn't really kill anything out here, so it's not like we're respawning enemies that we've had previously gotten rid of. So, okay. So we're going to go back to where we just were. There's going to be a thing over here. I believe this is the boluses. And you can use the rot boluses to heal you, but they're in limited supply. You can craft more of them, but you know, the crafting materials for those are somewhat rare, so you're not going to have an unlimited supply of these things to go off of. So there's more, I believe, Aeonian butterflies if you go all the way like over to this wall. Where we're headed now is this spot right here. There's going to be a no, not that spot. It's over there in that. I thought that spot was going to be that little enclosure. That spot inside there is going to have a cookbook that you can use to craft like rot grease and stuff like that. I'm going to go on and preemptively heal the Scarlet Rot buildup, so that'll help me not actually get it when I'm running over here to pick up this cookbook. Okay, so this allows you to craft like Scarlet Rot grease and that sort of stuff. You can apply it to your weapon. All right. I'm going to take away the buildup. So where we're headed next is kind of like right around here. There's going to be another switch we can hit. You can pick the butterflies if you want. Okay, so we're pretty much straight down Scarlet Rot territory. But again, having this armor equipped very drastically slows down the buildup. So it is helping us quite substantially. In this case, I'm just kind of letting it run its course for the time being. I'm not going to heal it up a bunch of times while I'm running over here to this thing. This is going to raise up more of those platforms. And then next, you see there's kind of a glowing thing right ahead of us. I'm going to kind of guess where it's at. And then there's another platform you can raise over here. I don't have my shield on. Oh, well. It's fine. Just run from the basilisks. Does this raise the remainder of the upper section? Yeah. There's the remainder of the upper section, along with a couple other platforms. At this point, I'm actually going to warp back here to the start, because there's actually a platform you can raise like right by where we picked up the map fragment, and that's going to help us with picking up the remainder of the loot down here. So just kind of hug this wall. Around here, and this is another platform you can raise. It's gonna raise up like around here. That's gonna help us get some of this stuff over here. Got some rot grease, and of course some basilisks coming out to play. So what we can do now is, let's see. There's an item over here. And an item back here. And then there's a bunch of butterflies along this wall if you want to pick up the butterflies. All right, so what I'm going to do now is warp back to this one. And that upper area, there's 3 sections of that kind of upper platform that we raised up. So now that that's all up, there's actually an item we can get up there. And then there's an enemy who's going to fight us who also drops a sword, I believe. And I do not believe that enemy will spawn until all 3 of those sections have been raised, which we have raised all 3 of those sections. So now we are good to go. But to get there, we're going to have to probably subject ourselves to rot one more time, but we can heal it up as soon as we get back over there. All right, so hop up here, clear up the rot. And climb up this ladder. There's actually a somber 9 up here, so we definitely want to do this. And then there's the an alabaster lord, the enemies that kind of use the gravity attacks on you. And the alabaster lord drops a sword when you kill it. So you should spawn any second. Here we go. And these things aren't too bad. The main thing is you don't want to fall off. As you fall off, it's instant death. But you see, these things have, like, no poise. So we get the Alabaster Lord Sword. And over here's our Somber 9. So over there is actually a mini-boss that we're going to fight. And the quickest way, I think, is going to be from this side of Grace. And then this is really the last thing that we have to do here, is to kill this mini-boss. You've done pretty much everything else. So, you know, as I said, it looks pretty horrible. But if you go about it methodically, it ain't too bad. Especially if you've got, you know, if you got stuff that boosts up your resistance pretty good. Could be a lot worse. So where we're headed now is like over in this area. We raised up some platforms that are going to help us fight this boss. Because if you don't raise up those platforms, you have to fight the boss like in the Lake of Rot. But since we raised up those platforms, it's going to be much easier to fight it. At least I'm pretty sure we did raise up those platforms. I'm pretty sure we did. And this is a boss you can use a summon for, so we're going to use our Mimic. Yeah, I did raise up the platforms. Good. So I'm going to heal up. Once we get to the platform, I'm going to cure the rot. And summon my Mimic. Okay. All right. And summon. That's the mini boss right there. Top off health. And I think this is going to be our first true fight with our plus 10 Mimic. And you're going to see just how freaking strong this thing is. Like, he's going in already. And with the plus 10, he's super tanky. And look, I mean, he's doing pretty sick damage. I mean, I could probably look at his damage resistance. He's super duper tanky. And I could probably, if I wanted to, I could probably let him solo this thing. I mean, the Mimic, I can't overstate how good the Mimic is. Like, the Mimic is, again, is very build dependent. If you have a good build, the Mimic is exceptionally good. If you have a crappy build, the Mimic's not going to do much for you. But just look at what he's doing, and like look at how many hits he can take. It's pretty insane. And he's in the Lake of Rot, and it's like not even phasing him. It's pretty insane. So that's that. Definitely make quick work of it with the Mimic. Get the Dragon Scale Blade, and then there's a couple pieces of loot down here that we're gonna pick up while we're here. And that's pretty much it for the Lake of Rot proper. We're not completely out of the woods yet, but this is the most daunting part of it. All right, so we're going to warp back here. This is where we go for progress. And what we want to do is head down these stairs. And we're going to be making our way down there to that first level, the ground level. So hop across here. We're going to keep our rot stuff on because there is still scarlet rot down below. Not as bad as what we were dealing with before, but you see that little pathway is scarlet rot down there. So we're going to keep our rot resist stuff on. So get the gold 10. And then now we're going to start dropping down. Little platform here. A golden centipede, and then there's more drop downs we're gonna do. So drop down right here, and then drop down right here, and this will get you to the bottom. So you see we can summon down here as well. I'm gonna take care of these things, and I'll summon. Because there is a ulcerated tree spirit down here that we're gonna fight, we definitely want our mimic for that. Otherwise, it's a pain. I think this is a gold rune. There we go. There's one more of these. I think they're legitimately called pests, which is such a perfect name for them because they are definitely pests. Now he's chilling like way back there. If you go back there, that's gonna summon the tree spirit. So you want to take him out before summoning the tree spirit for sure. Okay, perfect. So you notice back there, there's a couple items. Once you go back there, though, it's going to summon the tree spirit, as I said. So you might be able to pick one of them up. I would suggest once you notice the tree spirit's coming, because you're going to be in rot. Once you notice it's coming, just turn around and come back. Yeah, so the screen shakes. You don't want to be caught up in here with the thing hitting you, and then you've got scarlet rot, and then you're in bad shape. So the mimic doing some work right off the bat. Oh, I just got rotted. So I'm gonna heal that up real quick. And this guy can inflict rot himself, so. But I'm kind of waiting for him to get over here so I can start attacking him without being in the rot myself. You see, the plus 10 mimic can take a beating. He's gonna do blow up. There we go. Now that he's on this platform, I can start wailing on him. And done. I've got a lot of runes. However, I don't want to warp back up and then have to drop back down again. So I'm gonna roll with it and hope I don't die. So there's a bunch of these pests over here. So you notice the mimic tier doesn't despawn right away because there's still enemies in the area. So I'm gonna have him help me take these things out because there's a bunch of them over here. The first one you can kind of get a sneak attack on. You see, he's already going to work, so I think he soloed that one actually. So again, even post nerf, you can imagine they've already nerfed this thing, but even post nerf, he's still the best summon in the game if you've got a good build. No, he's probably going to go away now since we've killed everything around here. Oh, no, there's one more. Still one more. All right, now he's going to leave me, which is fine. And in here, we get the Scorpion Stinger, which is a rot-infused dagger. And I could warp up and spin my runes. I've got 137,000 of them because we're about to fight a boss. So if you're in a similar situation that I'm in right now and you want to be a bit more cautious, go ahead and spin your runes. But I just don't want to start over at the beginning of this section and have to drop down and respawn all the enemies we just killed, etc. I'm gonna press my luck and take my chances. This boss shouldn't be too bad, especially with a summon, so. Okay, as I said, we're about to fight a boss. We are out of Rotland, so I'm going to put my normal gear back on. Let's see, I had the jump attack talisman here. Going to put my turtle shield back on for stamina enhancement, and then going to put my normal armor. Oops, that's not what I wanted for gauntlets. I want that one. There we go. I think that's everything, right? For equipment. Yeah, we're good. And I'll top off my health and my FP here. So we're about to fight Astel. This is a very visually compelling fight. The boss looks really cool. The arena's pretty cool. He has a lot of ranged attacks, and he's very deadly. With the Mimic, he's not too bad. He's probably going to start by doing his laser beam attack. And yep, there it is. And that laser beam attack is really hard to time because he charges it up for a second, and then there's a delay before he shoots it off, and you have to kind of roll to dodge it. He has this tail whip attack. His tail has super long range. When you get close to him, though, he starts doing like, yeah, he can do attacks with his pincers. He's got a grab attack. He's got a lot of these like purple star type stuff. He can teleport. His teleport actually will hurt you. It has an AoE associated with it. He's got a lot of these like AoE type attacks. His weak spot is his head, but you're kind of in range of his pincers if you are hitting his head. So it's high risk, high reward if you go for the head. And obviously his grab attack uses his pincers, so you're in range of his grab attack as well. Just got a stun on him, so. You know, probably teleport right here. Yeah, here's his teleport. So you see he does like this. That teleport has an AoE with it, and then he can pop up like right behind you and then start wailing on you. So this attack, he summons a bunch of meteors. Best bet is just to kind of stay on the move, keep running, and maybe just kind of spam your dodge roll a bit. And here's his laser beam, and that I mentioned the timing on that is really hard to get down. And there's his tail whip, super long range on that tail whip. I'm gonna go on and take him out. I pretty much showed you what I need to show you. Everything except his grab attack, and I don't want to wait around for his grab attack, so. Again, the grab attack happens if you're right in front of his face. He'll grab you with his pincers. And we're gonna have a ton of runes after this. Oh my gosh. So this is for a trophy. And we also get a remembrance. 80,000 additional runes, so we're at 217. Good grief. And we get a remembrance for him as well. So trophy and remembrance. And we're on kind of the closing leg of the Ronnie quest line here, guys. So really solid progress. Just a quick note of where we're at. So we were here at the Lake of Rot, and then we got in this coffin down here. The coffin transported us over here, and here's where we fought the boss. So just for a little bit of just kind of recognizing where we're at. Okay, get this site of grace, and we are going to level up. Okay, so let's see. I want to get my dex to 40, so I'll just put both levels here into dex. And the way forward is straight ahead. And we're going to get to an area that some of y'all may have been wondering about. At least at this point in my playthrough, I had been wondering about it. So we got an elevator. It's a long way up. And while we're riding the elevator, look at this. Look at where it takes us. It takes us to the top of this plateau. So we have a site of grace here. This is the village of the Albinarics. This is below this plateau. You can see the plateau above you, but you can't get to the plateau unless you take this elevator as part of Ronnie's quest line. So it can take us all the way to the top, and here we are. We have arrived at the Moonlight altar. So you notice it's early day, but but here you look outside and it's moonlight. So, you know, kind of a cool visual in my opinion. Still got the Erdtree right there. Got the moon. Pretty nice. All right, so get that site of grace, and then let's see where we're gonna go here. We got a few points of interest from where we're at. We're gonna cover this entire plateau. I think if we can do it all in this episode. So for starters, we're gonna go right here, and then right here, there's gonna be a dragon fight, and then right here, we're going to finish Ronnie's quest line. So if you remember, when we first made it out to in front of Ronnie's Rise, there was a glintstone dragon that we fought that ran away. Well, it runs away, and then this is where it shows up. So this is where you actually kill it. So for starters, we're gonna hit up these ruins over here. There's some decent loot in here. And these are slightly confusing. There are enemies that like teleport and hit you with their magic. I'm just kind of scanning because there is some loose pickups over here. Yep, there's the guys. So, and there's the traps on the floor as well. So we got a rune arc, gold 9. I believe there's a somber stone around here as well. Magic grease. I believe over here is the somber. Go away. At least I think there is. And also, I know there is a, oh, yes. Okay, yeah. There's an invisible floor that you have to unlock, and I honestly forget what corner. These invisible floors are really hard to spot. They're really subtle. But when I find it, I'm going to pull up my map so you guys can see exactly where I'm standing. Yeah, the invisible floors are really tricky because basically they reveal a stairwell to go underneath. I want to say it's around here. Here it is. So I can't pull up my map right now because I've got aggro on me, sadly. Please let me pull up my map. Here, I'm gonna go underneath, get the item, and then when I come back up, hopefully the enemies will despawn, and I will be able to show you guys exactly where I'm at. All right, so that's where the somber is. And pulling up my map, here is on the map. Here's where that invisible floor is. So now we are going to go fight the dragon. And I can summon for this. I'm definitely going to summon. Once the dragon shows up, I'm summoning. It's going to be like right here. There he is. So I'm going to do the first part of this on horseback. If he knocks me off my horse, I am going to do the rest of it on foot. Kind of how I usually approach these things. So generally going for the wings is a good idea. All right, let's see. He's doing his ground fire, but that hit the mimic. And you see, I mean, that barely even touches him. 3 headshots. I'll take the free headshots. Oh, that almost killed Torrent. Up, got the bleed and the stun. I'll do the rest of it on foot. Not that there's much left to do, but there it is. And I think you get like 120k for killing this thing. Yeah. So, and Dragon Hearts, 3 Dragon Hearts, a Duelist Moonblade. Pretty sick rewards for killing that thing. And there's a bunch of loose Starlight Shards down here. Again, these are the consumables you can use. You pop one and it steadily increases your, or steadily replenishes, I should say, your FP. And there's just a ton of them around here. So we got a Side of Grace here, which I'm going to use to level up. And do we need to advance the time of day? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and make it morning again. And I'm going to level up. Keep bumping that dex to 40. There's one more outside. Okay, so where we need to go for Ronnie's quest is there is a hole in the ground right here that you can drop down. Just watch for where the platforms are and you can just scooch. Then next, just go all the way down to the bottom. And here, ladies and gentlemen, been a long time coming, but we are going to close out Ronnie's quest line. And we're not going to close out her quest line. We're going to close out a few quest lines in this episode as well. But this is going to give us some goodies. So here she is down here. We're going to talk to her, put on the ring, put a ring on it. Again, we got this ring from the treasure chest in the room where we fought Renala. Which makes sense because Ronnie is Renala's daughter. So...
So it was thee who would become my lord. Perhaps I needn't have warned thee. I am pleased, however. Thou art a fitting choice. I go now to the night sky. It is there I shall find mine order. I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
Okay. So, Ronnie disappears, and behind her, she leaves the Dark Moon Greatsword. This is one of the legendary armaments that you're going to need for your trophy. In addition, we have now officially unlocked the ability to get the Ronnie ending as well, which is also an ending that is required for a trophy. So, we got this, which is required for a trophy. We have access to her ending now, which is required for a trophy. Let's check out the Dark Moon Greatsword. It requires intelligence to use if you don't have 38 to be precise. But this is a legendary armament that you will need if you're going for all achievements. So now that we have that, that is effectively the end of her quest line. But there's a couple more things that we're going to take care of. So for starters, we're going to warp back to Ronnie's Rise. Now, once you have done Ronnie's side quest, Blyde takes a turn. And he becomes hostile. And this is part of his quest line. Like, this is unavoidable if you do Ronnie's quest. So don't think you've screwed anything up. It just is what it is.
No. I'm part of her very being. I can never betray her. No matter what might happen. Ronnie. She needs me.
And so you see you can lock on. He's got a red name there. He's hostile. So let us go ahead and get the head start on him. Because he is tough. He is really tough. See, he hits really hard. He's really, really quick. Two hits, half my HP. And he's got that leaping frostbite attack. I'm trying to get I'm stuck on this rock here. I'm trying to heal. I'm stuck on more rocks. He's got insane closing speed. Oh, I thought I had him there. All right, there we go. That's it for Blythe. He is a really tough opponent. But we get his sword and his armor set. And that is the end of Blythe's questline. Again, that is unavoidable. If you do Rhaenys questline, he will be hostile outside of her rise. And so to end his questline, you have to take him out. That just is what it is. So now we're going to go back to the top of Rhaenys Rise. And there is a thing we can do up here. In addition, there is also a site of grace up here now. There was not before, but there will be now. And you'll notice that she is gone, or her doll is gone. But if you rest here, you can talk to her doll. And she'll have additional dialogue.
Noticed. I shouldn't be surprised. I thought I might expound a little further upon the order I envision. Mine will be an order not of gold, but the stars and moon of the chill night. I would keep them far from the earth beneath our feet. As it is now, life and souls and order are bound tightly together. But I would have them at a great remove, and have the certainties of sight, emotion, faith, and touch all become impossibilities, which is why I would abandon this soil with mine order. Wouldst thou come to me even now, my one and only Lord? Mine will be an order, and I
Okay, so she's kind of alluding to what her, you know, if you choose her ending, what her world will be like. So it will be apart from the Golden Order. It'll be kind of how she wants things to be. But we now have access to her ending when we, you know, get to that point at the end of the game. And I'll show you how you can select the different endings that you will have access to, which if you follow this guide, you will have access to every ending in the game. But when it gets to that point, I will show you how to go about that. What we're going to do now is we're going to head over here. So, Pedia, what do you say his name? He's the guy who sold us Carrion Retaliation. He is in the Carrion Manor. But after Ronnie's questline, if we pay him a visit, something changes with him. So we're going to do that now while we're here. It's just a cerulean scarab. I don't need it. It's not one for, you know, an Ash of War or something important, so.
Stop. Please stop. You're my puppet. I loved you with all I have. How could you forget such bliss? That hurts. Please.
So much like Celavus, he was a puppeteer. And may or may not have done questionable things with his puppets. You can read into that however you will. But his puppets just betrayed him and murdered him. So there he is. So you get his bell bearing, and you get Dolores, the sleeping arrow puppet. And that is the end of him. So I said we have a lot of quest lines ending here. Next, we have E.G. So we've done Blythe, we've done Ronnie, we've done this puppeteer guy. And now we have E.G. So let's talk to him.
Greetings, my
So now we can talk to him about Blythe's death.
unthinkable. How could Blythe? How did he break free from his cell? No. More importantly, Blythe became a curse that plagued Lady Rani. Yet even in madness, gave himself to her. I made a grave misjudgment. And I thought myself a capable war counselor. I'll catch up with you soon enough, Blythe. When I do, I only hope you'll accept my apology.
Okay. So now what we need to do is rest to reset. And there is E.G. I'm pretty sure he's effectively dead. I mean, he's basically burning in black flame, and you cannot interact with him anymore. And over here, we get his bell bearing, and we get his mirror helm. So that is the end of E.G.'s quest line. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to warp back to this plateau, and we're going to finish up our business that we have here. So for starters, what we want to do is we want to head here. This is another rise that has a puzzle associated with it. That's going to be kind of our first order of business, because the solution to this puzzle involves basically going across the entire plateau. But to get there, we need to drop off a cliff kind of right around here, because it is a ways down, so you can't just drop directly down to it. There's going to be a few dragons over here. I'm going to ignore them. They're not like main boss type dragons. They're just regular old dragons kind of chilling down here. So I don't really care enough to kill them. I believe if you do kill them, though, you will get dragon hearts for your effort. But the dragons that I kill in this playthrough are the ones that I'm focusing on, at least, are the main named dragons that have, you know, that are official boss fights, I should say. So down here, we're going to kind of go through this crystal area. There's going to be some of these crystalline enemies that we fought many of before, but I don't care to fight right now, so I'm just going to run right past them. But down here, we are going to get to a red wolf, and I'm going to fight this one on horseback. I think, honestly, these are easier to fight on horseback because you can dodge their magic attacks pretty easily just by sprinting, and these things move so fast that it's much easier to catch up to them on horseback. You see I'm doing, you know, pretty legit damage to it on horseback. And heal up real quick. You know, these magic arrows that he shoots, I can just kind of run past them and not have to worry about, like, dodge timing or anything like that, which is nice. Now he's going to do his big comet, which that one's hard to dodge. But you see Torrent took the brunt of that hit, so. Almost got him. There we go. So yeah, I think much easier to fight those, the ones at least in the open field, much easier to fight them on horseback than it is to fight them on foot. Got some smithing stones over here. All right, so from here we can access where we're going. I think there's a drop-down spot over here. It's going to make our trip a little bit quicker. Go drop down here, ignore the dragons, and straight ahead there's our spot. I'm gonna go ahead and take the beacon off. And as I said before, this is another one of these puzzle towers. The thing is if you, so this is one where you have to, there's 3 like spirit turtles that show up. And as I said, they're all across the map. So the thing is if you die or if you warp, the turtles are going to disappear. So, and then you have to come back here to reset their locations. Now, if you kill a turtle, if you kill one of the spirit turtles, then that one it's never gonna respawn. It's never gonna come back. So once you kill one, it's gone for good. But if you have one that is still spawned that you've yet to kill, and you warp or you die, you're gonna have to come here and reset the puzzle for it to show up again. So the first one is actually right here. He's like hanging off the cliff. So we're gonna take him out. And then that is number 1. So he's never going to come back if we die or warp or whatever. But for example, if we die on our way to this one, or if we were to try to warp, then this one would not spawn. So the next one's going to be kind of right here at this point. I'm going to put it just for navigation. I'm going to put one right here just to kind of help us get there. And then we're going to want to go here. Then we're going to want to go here. These are just ruins with like loot and stuff that we're going to hit up. All right. And this is going to be a long horseback ride because we are basically traversing this entire plateau. So just enjoy the ride. You see our beacon all the way over there. That's where we're headed. So we did get a legendary armament. And also in this episode, if all goes well, we're going to get a legendary spirit summon. And we're also going to get a legendary incantation. So making great progress towards those trophies in this one episode. We're going to get 3 legendaries if everything goes according to plan. All right, so we're going to head over here. There's going to be our next turtle. So if you stand up here and look below. Oops, I need to aim. There we go. All right, that cake takes care of that one. So 2 down, 1 to go. The next one is way over here. But first, we're going to take out these ruins. And these ruins each have a royal revenant that spawns. And those of you who have been following this playthrough know I'm not a fan of the royal revenants. Those things are a doozy. So he's going to spawn right here in the middle. I just like to start attacking it straight away wherever it shows up. Where is it? These things, they just move fast. They've got ridiculous attacks. Insane closing speed. I want its poison attack. Because its poison attack gives you an opening. And you just like teleported right on top of me. So you see how dangerous those things are. Oh gosh, those things are super, super dangerous. And this is another spot that's got an illusory floor. And I'm trying to, let's see. So one of these things. Is it right here? I don't think so. Yeah, these illusory floors, I should say, are very tricky to find. They're much harder to spot than an illusory wall, for example. Here we go. And just to show you on the map where this is, right here. Let me take this beacon off. All right, got a smithing stone 8, 3 of them actually. And so this next spot we're going to also has a royal revenant. And I mean, these things are as likely as any enemy to kill me just because they're such a pain to deal with. Fortunately, though, this one, it's giving me a summon opportunity. So, oh, nope, there goes the summon opportunity. So, not going to be able to summon here. Oh, maybe I can summon here. Nice. I am definitely going to take them up on their offer. Don't have to tell me twice, especially against these things. And this is an illusory floor. The imp statue reveals its location. Kind of gives it away. So that one's much easier to find. And just on the map, here's where it is. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. We're going to take care of this thing first. Hopefully it won't eat our lunch. But with my Mimic, yes, it's doing the poison attack. Awesome. That was perfect. Yeah, having a Mimic on this fight helps pretty enormously. That took the edge off quite a bit. And there's going to be a bunch of, like, the normal Revenants that spawn up here. The non, like, super lethal ones. All right, so we got those. There's the Glintstone Firefly pickup that we got. So now we're going to head back to our spot where we hit the illusory floor. There's going to be more of these things that spawn, which is just fine. Look at that. Taking care of business. We'll pick up this Gold Rune 10. And yes, for this one, we do have to use a Stone Sword key on it, which is why there's that statue right in front of it. And down here, we have the Cerulean Amber Medallion +2. And so where we have to head next, as I said, we can't warp, otherwise it's going to reset the puzzle. So, honestly, though, where we're at now, we're going here. So I think it'll be... it's about the same. I'm not going to warp. Alternatively, we could warp here, reset the puzzle, then travel north. It's probably about the same amount of time. I don't know. But I'll stick without warping. Basically have to travel across this entire plateau again. Go back where those dragons were. And then we're going to drop off kind of in this area again, like we did before. But instead of then looping around and going back south, we're going to loop around and... or we're going to go north. Let's see. I guess we don't need a drop down, do we? Yeah, it's right here. And here's where our final turtle is going to be. So this Spirit Spring jump, look straight above it, is our turtle. So we want to hit the Spirit Spring jump, and we'll take out the turtle in doing so. Oh, we missed the turtle. He's still alive. We got to do this again. Normally, I get it just right when I trigger the jump, but... missed it again? Did I seriously? Yeah, he's like... moving around. There we go. So puzzle solved. The seal has opened. We're going to come back to that in just a minute because over here there is an Everjail. So defeating this Everjail gives you a legendary summon, Black Knife Tiche. She is considered one of the best summons in the game. So if you don't want to be using your Mimic all the time, Black Knife Tiche, very solid option as a backup. So just want to point that out. Many would say this is the most difficult Everjail in the game, and there is a case to be made for that. So I'm going to put on some items to help buff me up a little bit. We're fighting a Black Knife Assassin in here. This is a more or less normal Black Knife Assassin fight, aside from the fact that this particular assassin has a ton of HP and has one new move where she'll leap in the air and then dive bomb and do this massive AoE attack that takes away a significant chunk of health. So I will leave it at that. But other than that, it is a normal Black Knife fight, aside from the fact that this enemy has pretty drastically increased HP. So I'm going to put my buffs on. Boiled Crab for defense. Exalted Flesh for offense. And, of course, my Physic Flask. And I play this fight a bit more defensively. And I kind of wait for my opportunities to punish. So I kind of run away till I see the attacks that I like. And then I might take a... See if you get too aggressive, then you get punished. This is the attack that I like, where she stabs the ground. You can generally get a jump attack in. This is the AoE attack. If you get hit by that AoE, you're going to take a massive shot to your HP. And this projectile, as you've seen before, will reduce your maximum HP. So I'm going to kind of run around till I get an attack that I like and kind of rinse and repeat. So this fight might take a bit longer, but being aggressive can hurt you. See, yeah, that takes away your max HP, and there's the dive bomb, but you can actually punish the dive bomb if you're close enough to it. So I got one more hit off of it, but now she's kind of punishing me, so I got to get away, get some distance so I can heal up. So instead of attacking that, I'm going to heal here. You can punish this attack as well. All right, there's her dive bomb. Wait till it's over. You can punish it. This one you can punish. But see, if you get too aggressive, then she'll dodge you and punish you. So I want to heal here. I want to make sure my health is nice and topped off, because if she hits me with that AoE, that can be near death in one hit. And I actually want to I want to pop off my cerulean flask too. So instead of punishing this, I'm going to hit my cerulean flask and then reset the fight. All right. Kind of waiting for one of my attacks that I like to punish. There's one. So I usually will do like my jump attack and then put an R1 and maybe do a Bloodhound's Finesse, depending on my location relative to where she was. Come on, give me something I like here. Dodge that. Here we go. Oh, I got too close too quick. Dang it. And she can make you pay. So I'm gonna heal here instead of punish. Playing this fight safe is your best bet, because if you get too aggressive, she's gonna just destroy you. And many would consider this the toughest ever jail fight in the game. And I think there's a case to be made for that. Dodge that. I can punish this one. Punish this one. That's the grab attack. Want to watch out for that. Oh, yes. Got the stun. I think we're done here, guys. Awesome. So that is a tough fight. You guys know my play style by now. I play that fight way more defensively than I normally do. Normally, I am quite aggressive with my play style, but that's just a fight you can't be aggressive with. In my opinion, play that one safe. Wait for the attacks that you can punish reliably and go from there. So the Rise has opened. Let's check out Black Knife Tish. So, legendary Ashen Remain. Used to summon Spirit of Black Knife Tish. Tish was one of the assassins who, on the night of the plot, imbued her black knife with the rune of death and slew Godwyn the Golden. So she was involved in the plot to slay the demigod. She was the daughter of Black Knife ringleader Electo and was killed protecting her mother during their fight from the royal capital. So just a little bit about that. Interesting lore tidbits. All right, so we have unlocked the puzzle. So we're going to warp here to the tower. And we're going to level up. So once you've unlocked the seal, you can warp and it's not going to reset anything. All right, take my dex up to 39. And so we got our legendary weapon, the Dark Moon Greatsword, which is a Dark Souls staple. Pretty much every Dark Souls game and Bloodborne has a Moon Greatsword. And this game is no different. So that's legendary armament. We got our legendary summon and Black Knife Tish. And now we're about to get a legendary sorcery. All required for separate trophies. So at the very tippy top here, we have a treasure chest with Ronnie's Dark Moon. Let's check out that real quick. Here we have Ronnie's Dark Moon. Requires 68 intelligence to use. Legendary sorcery, symbolic of the Carrion Queen. Dispels all sorcery that touches it. Temporarily reduces a magic damage negation for those that it hits. So, there we have it. All right, guys. This one has gone just past an hour. Thank you so much for watching. We got a lot covered in this episode, though. Pretty much everything I wanted to do, we ended up doing. So, definitely feel accomplished. So that's good. Anyways, really appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Y'all take care, and I will see you then.